Hey people, it is Saturday, February the 8th. The time is 8:55 in the evening. It's currently about -3 degrees Celsius. Feeling a little bit colder with the wind chill. It's not terribly windy right now, but it is snowing at a pretty good rate, as you can see. It started snowing a few hours ago. Not even, maybe just an hour and a half or so ago. It was in the forecast to begin in the afternoon, but apparently it took its time making its way through the area. But now that it has started, the forecast predicts to 10 to 15 centimeters of snow as the snow continues into the evening and throughout the night. And apparently it will all be over by tomorrow morning. And they're sort of large, fluffy snowflakes, as you can see. But yeah, not much wind to speak of, so that's good. And the snow doesn't seem overly wet either. So I think I should be able to do a walk around the east side of downtown without having to rely on an umbrella to keep my equipment dry. And if it does actually pan out to give us 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, this will be the biggest snowfall of the winter season. I guess we'll find out if that actually comes to pass or not. I'm at the corner of Gerrard Street East and Sherbourne Street. I'm going to walk north up Sherbourne towards Carlton. We have Allen Gardens, Kitty Corner, across the intersection. And that's looking east into Cabbagetown. It is quite lovely, I must say. If I came out a bit later, I might have been walking through much more accumulation. But I would like to get to one of my neighborhood grocery stores before they close. And they close at 10 p.m. So we're heading north up Sherbourne. I'll take us up to Carlton. If the snow just falls at this rate throughout the night, I guess it'll eventually get up to 10 to 15 centimeters. Looks like maybe just a few centimeters have come down so far. We already had some snow on the ground from a few earlier, smaller snowfalls. Actually, looking at this, I'd say only about a centimeter has come down so far. About so, yeah. So 1 centimeter, maybe 9 or 14 to go. I have a feeling it won't get up to 15 centimeters, at least not here in downtown Toronto. I just think it's quite pleasant without wind that often comes along with these sorts of weather events. Actually makes walking out through the snowfall quite pleasant. I might have to wipe off my lens every once and again though. Right, now here we are at Carlton Street. So now we're heading east into Cabbagetown. The snow is piling up on my coat pretty good though. I don't know if I could get a shot of that. As you can see. Let's look down Seton Street. Whoa, slippery there. And there's a snowy Ontario street. The streetcars usually don't have any trouble negotiating through snowfalls like this. It would take a much heavier, more intense blizzard situation to derail the streetcars or prevent them from moving normally. Not literally derail. The lovely old Victorian townhouses. I think a snowfall and Victorian architecture go very well together for some reason. Probably some Charles Dickens related reason. And Charles Dickens did spend time in Toronto in the 19th century. Maybe he experienced some snowfall here. Walking past an Irish pub.
Are we not just gonna walk over, or what are we going on?
All covered with snow. All right, we're about to come upon Parliament Street. Definitely sort of a lazy feel to the snow as it comes down slowly. Just taking its time. It's got all night to blanket the city. We're in the heart of Cabbagetown here on Parliament Street. As Carlton Street continues into the residential old Cabbagetown area. I'll take us a bit further north up Parliament, and then I will venture into the neighborhood. So as I mentioned, this is on the east side of downtown Toronto. About a 15-minute walk east of Yonge Street if you were to walk west towards Yonge. Depending on how fast you walk. I walk fast, so let's say 20 minutes for a more typical walker. Although I can't walk very fast when the sidewalks are covered with snow. I have to tread carefully. There goes a Zamboni. Alright, maybe I'll venture off of Parliament Street now. Let's take a walk east along Winchester. Probably get a bit darker as we head into the neighborhood, away from the brightly lit shops along Parliament Street. I think we'll come back to Parliament Street though later on. We'll eventually have to head south. Very peaceful here at the intersection of Metcalfe and Winchester. Bet you everyone is quite cozy inside that old walk-up apartment building right now, looking out at the snow. Wondering what that guy is doing out there with that little gadget in his hands, spinning around in the middle of the street. I can smell smoke from chimneys in the air here. I don't see any smoke coming out of any of the chimneys around here, but there must be somewhere. Hello.
Hello.
Nice night for a stroll or a shovel.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
A photographic session, eh?
Yeah. Cabbagetown always looks really nice in the snow, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy is shoveling quite a length of sidewalk here. Homeowners are actually required to shovel the sidewalks in front of their properties. I think I've mentioned that before. They probably haven't had much reason to do it though this winter. This might be the biggest shoveling event of the season so far. All right, so this is Sackville Street. Let's head south. Seems to be a lot more snow on the sidewalks here than there was on Parliament Street. These sidewalks are obviously not as well tread as the ones on the main street. It always looks a lot more snowy once you're into these residential neighborhoods. This is one of the most desirable old residential areas in the city. Mostly 19th century era homes, as you can see. Many of them are row houses or attached housing. Dating back almost towards the middle of the 19th century for the oldest homes in the area. I think many more of them are more late 19th century. But even though these are attached houses or row houses, in this neighborhood you're going to be shelling out millions of dollars. And if it's a fully detached house, add an extra million onto that. My coat has collected a lot more snow now. I probably look like a walking snowman at this point. All right, we're continuing south down Sackville. Just crossing Carlton, which we were on earlier. Let me wipe off the lens again. I do see some water droplets accumulating on my camera. Looks like this house still has some of its Christmas decor up. There's a nice shot, a couple of old bikes all covered with snow. Trees covered with snow. Everything is covered with snow. This is a detached house from what I can tell. Quite a large one at that. I can only imagine what that would go for. Let's see, 4 million? I might be wrong. This one's obviously in much rougher condition. I think this is just apartments here. That might bring down the value of the nicer house next door, maybe. Maybe you can get a deal. All right, now down there is Gerrard Street, but let's head back over to Parliament. And I'll start heading south down Parliament. Another detached house. According to local legend, this area was settled by Irish immigrants in the 19th century who were known to grow cabbages in their yards. And I guess the name stuck. Hi. Now this house stands out. This is obviously a newer build here in Old Cabbagetown. You don't see too much of that sort of thing in this neighborhood. It's quite rare to see a modern house. Maybe that land was available. Maybe nothing was ever built there back in the day. And there's lots of these laneways cutting through the neighborhood, some of which are basically just very narrow streets where you find houses. Once you walk into the laneway, usually smaller attached housing. Let's wipe off the lens again. Geez, even my lens cleaner is getting covered with snow now. I was tempted to write something on one of these cars in the snow, but for all I know, an alarm will go off or something. Probably not. All right, back to Parliament Street. So this is a stretch that is south of where we were last time. It's a lot brighter here. I wonder what was in that little cage he was towing along there, little trailer cage. Maybe there was a dog. I don't know if I'd want to leave my bike out in the elements like that. Oftentimes you see these bikes that seem like they've been all but abandoned. And there's the 506 Carlton. That one's heading all the way to High Park. Here we are at Gerard and Parliament. Snow hasn't really let up yet. As I said, it might not let up until close to morning. All right, one more wipe of the lens. I think I might start to wrap up this walk during what might be the biggest snowfall of this winter season. I guess we'll see how that turns out. I hope you enjoyed. We made our way through the east side of downtown Toronto, mostly around Cabbagetown, with lots of white fluffy snow and lovely old homes to look at. So I hope you enjoyed or not. Leave a comment down below and let me know either way. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. And if you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. And you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member, or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue to be a real-life snowman.